and welcome to all our viewers. In Treasures, we take you to different places with different stories.
Today in Treasures, we're going to discover a very specific place in the citadel of Salah ad-Din, which brings together a number of historic monuments.
So we'll bring you all the details about this place, so stay tuned as we begin right after this. Mohammed Ali Mosque is one of the landmarks and touristic attractions of Cairo. It stands proudly on the highest point of the courtyard of Salah ad-Din Citadel. That's why it grabs the attention of so many people from outside.
So Yasmin, do you know the main reason behind building this mosque?
No, I don't know.
Well, actually, Muhammad Ali used to love his family so much, he built this mosque in the loving memory of his son, Tosun Pasha, who died in 1816, unfortunately.
So he used to love his family so much, I think.
Yes, he did.
So this mosque really looks so beautiful and magnificent from outside. I think from inside it would be really beautiful. So let's begin the tour.
Let's go.
Let's go. One of the landmarks and tourist attractions of Cairo, this Ottoman mosque was the largest to be built in the first half of the 19th century.
Visiting Cairo, you'll easily locate Mohammed Ali's mosque. Muhammad Ali, who built this magnificent structure, is considered the founder of modern Egypt.
And now we're inside Mohammed Ali Mosque, which is amongst the most interesting mosques here in Egypt. Mr. Gamal Ibrahim is going to talk to us about the history of this mosque and the story behind it. So we thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I want to start by the history behind Mohammed Ali Mosque.
Mohammed Ali Mosque. Mohammed Ali Mosque was built inside the citadel of Saladin, which was built in 1176. And this mosque actually has three names. We call it Mohammed Ali Mosque, Citadel Mosque,
and Alabaster Mosque.
Alabaster Mosque.
Yeah.
Alabaster Mosque because all the walls of the mosque from inside and outside covered with alabaster stones. The thickness of the walls 2 meters, but not solid alabaster, in between lime stones.
Okay.
We call it Citadel Mosque because this is the best one inside the citadel. Citadel was built in 1176. Mohammed Ali Mosque was built in 30.
And I think it's located at the highest point in the citadel,
Inside the
right?
citadel. Actually, and the mosque was built on the ruins of the palace was built by Nasser Muhammad ibn Qalawun.
Okay.
Nasser Muhammad ibn Qalawun built his palace, which called the Ablaq Palace, about 1335, 14th century. Then Muhammad Ali later he built his mosque on the top of the ruins of that palace, which was destroyed by the Ottoman in 16th century.
Ottoman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Muhammad Ali himself, he was a Turkish ruler in Egypt from 1805 till 1848. He ruled Egypt about 43 years. Then he built the mosque in 1830. The mosque was finished 1848. So 18 years for building the mosque.
Okay. So I want to talk like inside the mosque. I want you to talk to me about the tomb of Muhammad Ali, who was buried here inside the mosque.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. I think it's over there.
Yeah, that is his tomb actually. Yeah. Muhammad Ali asked his family to be buried alone inside his tomb. So he's buried here.
So we can move to talk about it?
Yes.
Okay. So sir, now we have moved in front of the tomb of Muhammad Ali. I want to know the story behind the death of Muhammad Ali himself first.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali actually, as I told you, he ruled Egypt from 1805 till 1848. In 1848, he had a problem mentally. Mental problem. So he left the throne to his son Ibrahim Pasha. Then he died 6 months after his son. So he died in 1849.
And he was buried
He's
here
buried
inside
here
the mosque.
actually, yeah.
Okay. So first of all, let's talk about, I think this is for the renovation of the mosque?
Yeah,
for
because
the
this is the gold leaf. They are changing the gold leaves of the shrine of the tomb of Muhammad Ali. But the tomb itself, it's made out of Italian marble from Carrara, white marble.
Okay.
And he's buried actually like 2 meters under the ground. He's not buried inside any one of the shrine inside. He's buried under the ground 2 meters. But he built on the top of the tomb a model, like a headdress of him, like a face. You know, the Turkish face. To represent the guy who's buried here, he was Turkish.
Okay, so for people who are keen to know what's inside the tomb, from inside, can
Inside
you
the tomb,
describe me
actually, what is interesting, Muhammad Ali covered all the walls of his tomb with wood and silk
Okay.
to absorb the sound. And actually, the lanterns inside the tomb, they added to the tomb by Abbas Hilmi II, like 1901.
Okay.
So because the mosque actually, they used electricity in the mosque like 1911. Before that, they used candles. So most of the lanterns in here inside the mosque, they added to the mosque by Abbas Hilmi II.
And talking about the tomb from outside.
The tomb from
it's
outside,
very beautiful
just
from outside.
just geometrical and floral decoration. And the gold leaf, the original gold leaf was like 21 karat. This is actually a little bit different than the original gold leaf.
Okay. So is there anything like interesting inside the tomb you'd like to talk about?
Now, inside the tomb,
Or
no.
outside the tomb?
Outside the tomb, I would like to tell you the material used for making this shrine around the tomb. Most of the people, they expect this is wood. It is not wood. It's made out of bronze, covered with gold leaves. So the material is bronze.
Okay. So sir, talking about this place, when I first entered the mosque, it was really beautiful because it's in front of the entrance of the mosque. So I wanted to talk about this partition inside the mosque.
This partition actually included 2 pulpits and Mubalagh, which is used for the man who repeats after the Imam.
Diktat al-Mubalagh?
Diktat al-Mubalagh. The Mubalagh is the man who repeats after the Imam. And also we have the niche, which is called Mihrab, which represents the direction to Mecca. Let us talk about the original pulpit. That is the original pulpit of the mosque, which was built by Muhammad Ali Pasha.
Okay.
About in 1845, Muhammad Ali built that pulpit inside the mosque. It's the material of the pulpit itself, it's wood, made out of wood. And
so it's different than the tomb. You told me in the tomb it was not wood, but people think it's wood.
bronze,
Here it's
but the pulpit itself here it is wood, and it's actually the highest pulpit in the world.
Okay.
This one, the decoration are outside here in Rococo and Baroque style. Every Friday during the time of Muhammad Ali, the Imam used this one, goes upstairs for giving the speech, but this one not used anymore. We use the new one, which made out of alabaster inlaid with Italian marble. That pulpit was added to the mosque by King Farouk.
Okay.
In 1936 till 1939, there was a big restoration inside the mosque. And after that, Farouk added that one to the mosque. Because why Farouk added a new pulpit to the mosque? Because that's actually the correct place of the pulpit. Normally, in each mosque, you can see the niche. In the right-hand side of the niche, you can see the pulpit. But that's very far. Why Muhammad Ali bought his pulpit here? Because at that time, no loudspeaker.
Okay.
So the acoustic
So
was
he
much
has
better
to
from
be
here. Actually, this mosque, there's a special thing in this mosque. Acoustic is very nice. If you like, I can show you how it is.
So, yeah, I would like to know that. Oh my God, I heard it as if you had the mic.
So that's actually the reason
So-
for putting the pulpit here, because acoustic was much better than inside. Let us see the details of that pulpit. The pulpit here made out of alabaster inlaid with Italian marble. Actually, you have to know where is the alabaster come from.
Okay.
The alabaster from Middle Egypt, Bani Suef. Bani Suef, 130 kilometers south of Cairo, but this is Italian marble from Verona.
Okay.
The alabaster inlaid with the Italian marble. If you touch it, you can't feel any difference between them. Perfectly done. That was made in 1939. Even the door of the pulpit itself, made out of bronze, in separate pieces, like the style they use it in arabesque, in wood. All these panels inlaid together. So they are separate pieces, like 140 separate pieces. And who's the man who made this pulpit, made this door? His name is mentioned here actually, made by Ahmed Hussein Jamal ad-Din in Egypt, 1360 Hijri.
It's
Islamic
written
year.
here?
It's written here. You can have a look. Take a look. You can climb to see engraved inside.
Yeah, it's written
Ahmed
here.
Hussein Jamal ad-Din in Egypt, 1360, 1939.
That's really interesting. Okay.
And actually, if you like talking about the panels here, the decoration of the alabaster itself, actually they are very interesting to see. For cutting the stone themselves, they brought one sheet from the alabaster, split it, and then open it for making symmetrical decoration.
That's really nice.
So if you have a good imagination, you can imagine what is that looks like, what is this looks like.
We can go take a look
Yeah.
too. Yeah. So, sir, we're still at the same partition, but you told me that you're going to tell me something that is very interesting here inside.
Yeah, about the symmetrical decoration, about this one, for example. As I told you, for making something like that, they brought one sheet from the alabaster, split it, and then opened it for making symmetrical decoration. But what is it? What is that originally was for? That originally was a window. We had 4 windows here during the time of King Farouk. They closed these windows and they made this decoration. 4 in this side and 4 in the other side.
Just for decoration, not for any reason
No,
else?
no, just for decoration.
Okay.
And this is actually, as I told you, split and then open it.
Okay.
We call
So
this
it's
one
two
looks like
parts.
butterfly.
Why butterfly?
Imagination, like the wings of the butterfly.
Okay.
Yeah, even this style of decoration, they call it butterfly.
Uh-huh.
When you open like that, this is
like
butterfly.
butterfly.
And this one, we call it, looks like the Gulf of Suez. But if you have a
So-
good or higher imagination, you can tell me what is over there. I think you have a good imagination. You're going to tell me what is that looks like.
I think it's a profile of a woman
Yeah,
looking at something.
yeah.
This
Looking
one.
at the map of England, you can see the map of England
Okay.
and the profile for the Queen Elizabeth.
Oh my God.
In her crown, you can see it. Huh?
Yeah, I can
That's
see the crown, the
coincidence.
face, and the map.
Yeah,
It's a coincidence.
a coincidence.
Just
of
for the
course.
tourists,
Yeah.
okay? So
It's
that's really
cool.
interesting.
No, but if you look, this is imagination. You can imagine whatever you like.
Ah, you're right. It's really nice. architect is Yusuf Bushnaq, a Turkish man who came over from Istanbul to build this great mosque for Muhammad Ali. The mosque really looks magnificent from inside, reflecting the hard work exerted to come up with such a wonderful place.
Now we've spoken about the history of Muhammad Ali's mosque, and now it's time to know more about the architectural design and style which was built upon the mosque. And Mr. Walid will tell us more about the architecture here. Mr. Walid, would you tell us more about, or would we start with the ceiling itself in the mosque? Why was it designed this way?
The ceiling, we can find that the ceiling, we are now standing inside the so-called prayer hall, or Beit al-Salah in Arabic, and it's surmounted by a huge dome, this one, which is finely gilded. I remember that when Howard Carter, when he discovered his tomb, that everything is gold. Oh wow, everything is gold when he discovered his tomb. So when I entered this, Tutankhamun,
yeah.
So I remember this event. But now we can find that it's surmounted by a huge dome which is finely gilded with gold, with something like gold or watery gold.
Yeah.
It's not a pure gold. So we can find that in general, the mosque is combined between European style and Byzantine style. You know, it's gathered between two different impacts, either European or Byzantine style. Also, we can find that Islamic features, especially when we find that it's the spandrels of the arches. Here we can find 4 medallions or circular medallions of the 4 Orthodox caliphs or rightly guided caliphs. We can find Osman, Ali, Abu Bakr, and Umar. And we can find that the Shahada or the witnessing phrase, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. The central dome, it's engaged by 4 semi-domes, or we can find, or we can say split domes, or ansaf qabab in Arabic language, and also gilded. Concerning the decoration, we can find that the decoration here, all the decoration are Byzantines, gathered between Byzantine and European. The main style, it's a Baroque or Rococo style, which is mainly European style.
So who was the main painter or the main designer that
Designer,
took
we can
on
find designer and architect. The architect was called Yusuf Bushnaq, the Turkish architecture, that he made his style and architecture into the mosque, and he put the plan in German. So we can find another
But
one.
he did not execute the
He
process of
he
building
did not
the mosque.
execute mainly in the decoration, but it's architecture rather than decoration. I mean, okay. So one of the most important features that characterize the mosque, it's the 4 gigantic columns, which is mainly Byzantine features, resembling mainly the church, or it's now the mosque of Hagia Sophia at Istanbul. So it's a Byzantine feature. These gigantic slender columns, which is made out of alabaster, especially in the lower part of the column.
Were these columns or pillars brought, or the rocks that we used in building these pillars, brought from Egypt or elsewhere from Europe?
It's brought from Bani Suef or
Bani
quarries
Suef.
of Bani Suef. It's alabaster. So,
Southern Egypt.
as mentioned before that, it's called the Alabaster Mosque, because of its lavishly use of alabaster, which is brought from Bani Suef, as we said before.
So what's the main use of this gallery?
This is a kind
There's
of
the second
gallery,
floor up there.
Okay, this is a kind of gallery, and it's called arcade. This is feature, I think that this feature is mainly used before the Ottoman period, especially in the Mamluk or the early Ottoman period, and it's called the nave. We can find columns and supported arches. And inside the passage, which is called it aisle, or zawiya, or mamar in Arabic.
And these are used for prayers.
This is called the prayer hall. So mainly the architectural design of the mosque, it's somehow Ottoman, because we can find 2 sections, the prayer sections, and this is the prayer section, and the outer section, it's called the fountain and the courtyard, or the sahn in Arabic. Okay. One of the most important elements we find here inside the mosque, we can find the most famous poem, which is called the Burda, or the poem of Imam al-Busayri. Let's move on.
another partition of the Mohammed Ali Mosque with Mr. Walid, who's going to tell us more about the writings in the sides of the walls of the mosque. What's this?
We can find that in front of us. We can find the most famous poem. We call it the Burda. The Burda, which is narrated by Imam al-Busiri. Imam al-Busiri was one of the imams who settled in Fayoum and was born in 1113.
So
AD.
al-Busiri is
Al-Busiri
related to
from
al-Basra.
Abu Sir from Fayoum,
Abu Sir, so is Egyptian.
in which he settled. In Fayoum. So he was born in 1113 and died in 1169 AD.
So what are these writings? What is he
He wrote
trying
these
to say
writings
through
in general. He wrote these writings in his mind when he saw a vision or a dream that he saw a prophet give him a garment, a green garment. So as a way of appreciation to the Prophet Muhammad, he wrote this kind of poems, which is called the Burda. We can find an imitation of the Burda narrated by Ahmad Shawqi, which is called Nahj al-Burda, with the same meaning. I think the same meaning, but it's not the same word.
So it is written in the love of Prophet Muhammad.
Love
peace
or
be
the
upon him.
appreciation to Prophet Muhammad. Okay.
Okay. So another point, which is the originality of the pieces here in the Mosque of Muhammad Ali. Let's talk first about the carpets that are being used
carpets,
now.
It's mainly manufactured at the time of the family of the modern Egypt or the descendants of Muhammad Ali. We don't know it was manufactured in the time of Abbas or in the time of King Farouk or the time of Fuad. We don't know exactly, but the most certainly that it was constructed or it's manufactured in general in the time of the descendants of Muhammad Ali or the grandsons of Muhammad Ali.
So the current carpets are the one
This
that
is
were
original and
manufactured
it's
back.
restored several times.
So these carpets are about 100 years old.
100 years old, 100 and over years.
Over 100 years. Okay, so another thing which is the chandeliers that...
Chandeliers are also original, but it's also exposed to several restorations and renovations throughout periods.
So these
It's
were the
without
one
a
made
fine-
in the times of Muhammad Ali.
Crystal and brass, yes, at the time of Muhammad Ali. Descendants also of Muhammad Ali,
The
but not
descendants
Muhammad Ali
of
exactly. Either by King Farouk or King Fuad or Abbas Helmi the first, but most probably Abbas Helmi the first, who added this kind of chandeliers. Those kinds of mosque lamps or mishkawat, they are not original, they are replica, but they are made in the same design of the originals.
But what kind of illuminating substance was used back then? Because we now are seeing lamps, which wasn't invented back then.
In the past, they used the oil.
The oil.
The oil. This is something
Illuminating
like,
oil.
Lighting oil.
Lighting oil.
Sorry, lighting oil. So lighting oil was put in lantern, so-called lantern, or beda.
Yeah.
Something. It's an oval shape of glass. It was put inside it or filled with oil. Okay, and it gives light, something like this real light of electricity.
Yeah, but the lanterns were made of the same material that this
Of the
one
same
is.
material of glass, but
Made of glass.
it's originally made out of something like gilded glass or enameled glass, or matli bil-mina in Arabic language.
You know, Ahmed, that the mosque here is used for celebrations. I mean, the Islamic celebrations, the night of Mid of Sha'ban.
And the night of the revealing of the Quran in the holy month of Ramadan. And it was constructed on the square ground of 41 by 41 meters.
It's really beautiful. You know, what was your first impression when you first entered the place here?
I kind of felt that there are men who lived in Islamic eras before the time that we're living in previous centuries before are still here with us now.
And I felt really satisfied and comfortable here in this place. Yeah, it's really nice. So I think it's time to continue our tour here.
Okay, let's go.
Let's continue.
still in the Mohammed Ali Mosque, and we decided to take some of the opinions of the visitors here. We have Naus from Catalonia, in Barcelona of Spain.
Yeah.
So this is your first day in Egypt?
Yeah, we came yesterday. Yeah, yesterday evening.
Yeah, we know that in Spain there are a lot of Islamic monuments, such as mosques in cities of Sevilla, Cordoba, Balad al Walid. You know, so did you visit other these Islamic monuments back in Spain?
Well, I've been to at least one or two of them in Andalusia, because I went to Algeciras, that is near the African coast, and I visited one there, but not in Sevilla, not in Sevilla.
So does the mosques and the Islamic monuments look like this, or is it different here?
No, it's different here, This one, of course, I think it reminds me from one I saw in Istanbul, I think it was the Blue Mosque, but I'm not sure at names. I think because of the ceiling, because of the ceiling. But it's very impressive. Just when I came, it impressed me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you after this. Did you like the architecture used here in the mosque?
The guy told us that it was, well, I don't know what is the English word for this. It is alabastrum, that is a sort of marble, it's white, and that is a very good material, and I love it, it's very, very, very nice indeed, and the lights and everything, and of course that one, the court, the yard,
the outside court,
the outside court, yes, lovely. Well, in general, I like these Arabic monuments because in Andalusia, you know, there are a lot of monuments. That is the Alhambra, Alhambra, I suppose it's in Alhambra in Granada, and all of those. It's very lovely, and the tiles and the details and all of this is very, very lovely indeed.
Unfortunately, we came to the end of our episode.
Yes, Yasmin, this brings us to the end of this episode, but we hope you enjoyed it. Wait for us for next week in a different place with a different story.